Have you ever thought that the freezer, the place we believe to be the safest and cleanest in our home, could actually be hiding potential dangers? If you're keeping any of the following items inside, check your freezer today, because these could be the 4 dangerous things almost everyone has made mistakes with. 1. Glass containers and bottles. The cold bombs inside your freezer. Many of us have a convenient habit, after cooking. If there's leftover soup, broth, or stew, we pour it into a glass container, close the lid tightly, and put it straight into the freezer for later. Or when we chop herbs, garlic, or onions, we like to store them in glass jars to keep the flavor longer. Sounds logical, right? But this is the first mistake that refrigerator technicians always warn about. Glass is hard but extremely brittle at low temperatures. In the freezer, around -18 degrees Celsius, glass contracts quickly, weakening its structure. If it contains liquid, like soup, broth, or juice, the water inside expands by about 9% when it freezes. That pressure can cause the glass container to explode without you realizing it. The consequences can be serious. Glass shards can scratch the freezer walls or damage the cooling coils inside. If unnoticed, the freezer could leak refrigerant, damage the compressor, or even cause minor electrical fires. Worse, when you open the freezer, the broken glass could cut your hands or hit your face. The solution: if you need to freeze liquids, always use freezer-safe plastic containers labeled freezer-safe or -20 degrees Celsius. Also, leave at least 1/5 of the container empty for the liquid to expand. A quick tip: if you don't have freezer-safe containers, pour the liquid into Ziploc bags. Lay them flat to freeze. It saves space and is perfectly safe. 2. Dry ice. The ticking time bomb in your freezer. It sounds strange, but many people have accidentally created a bomb in their freezers without knowing it. Dry ice, solid go-to, often comes with seafood, ice cream, or cakes during delivery. Seeing how long it stays cold, some people think, let's keep it in the freezer for later use. That's the second big mistake. Dry ice isn't frozen water, it's solid carbon dioxide. At room temperature, it sublimates, meaning it turns directly from solid to gas without melting. The sublimation point of dry ice is -78.5 degrees Celsius, while your freezer only reaches about -18 degrees Celsius. That means when you put it inside, it releases CO2 gas rapidly into the enclosed space of the freezer. The result: the trapped CO2 increases internal pressure. Too much dry ice can make the freezer door bulge, crack the plastic, or even cause a small explosion. Moreover, CO2 displaces cold air, reducing cooling efficiency, forcing the compressor to run non-stop, wasting power and shortening the freezer's lifespan. The solution: never put dry ice in the refrigerator or freezer. Store it in a well-ventilated place and avoid touching it directly with bare hands. It can cause cold burns. Let it sublimate naturally, and never seal it inside a box, plastic bag, or freezer compartment. 3. Carbonated drinks, beer, and bottled beverages. The kitchen explosives. This is the most common mistake, especially in summer. You've probably done this before, placing a can of soda or a beer bottle in the freezer to chill it faster. Just 10 minutes, you tell yourself. But one moment of forgetting can lead to a disaster. Carbonated drinks like soda, beer, or sparkling water contain large amounts of dissolved CO2. When chilled too quickly, the water freezes first, expanding in volume. Since the container is sealed, pressure builds rapidly until the bottle bursts or the cap flies off. Common accidents include opening the freezer to find soda spraying everywhere, a glass beer bottle shattering and shooting shards into your hands or face, damage to the freezer door seal or internal sensors due to the explosion. The solution: if you want a quick chill, use the refrigerator compartment or submerge the drink in a bowl of ice water. It's faster and safer. If you must use the freezer, limit the time to 10 to 15 minutes and set a timer. Never leave it overnight. 4. Wet or damp food. The silent freezer killer. This habit seems harmless but actually wears down your freezer over time. Many people wash fruits, vegetables, meat, or fish before freezing them. However, That leftover moisture is the main reason your freezer consumes more power and loses cooling efficiency. When wet food enters the freezer, the water instantly turns into frost on the surface, creating thick ice layers that stick to trays or walls. Pulling them off can crack plastic trays, damage insulation, or peel off the aluminum lining. That frost also blocks cold air circulation, forcing the compressor to work harder, increasing electricity costs and reducing lifespan. Moreover, frozen moisture damages food texture, making it dry, tough, and tasteless after thawing. The solution: always dry food thoroughly with a towel or paper before freezing. For meat or fish, portion and seal them in freezer bags or cling wrap. Don't overcrowd the freezer. Leave space for cold air to circulate. Many people think the freezer is a safe zone that can hold anything for as long as possible, but the truth is, the freezer has its limits. To keep your freezer efficient, cold, and long-lasting, remember these 3 golden rules. Store only dry, sealed food in proper freezer containers or bags. Avoid anything that can explode, expand, or crack, such as glass, carbonated drinks, or dry ice. Don't overfill the freezer. Let cold air circulate freely. Take a few minutes today to check your freezer. You might discover a hidden culprit that's quietly making your appliance less efficient day by day. Clean your freezer today. Enjoy peace of mind tomorrow. The freezer isn't just a place to store food, it's the heart of your refrigerator, and the heart needs care to stay strong and healthy. So if you're hearing this now, remember, even small habits can help your fridge last longer, work better, and save energy. You're watching Everyday Life channel, where we share simple, practical tips to make daily living safer, easier, and happier. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to spread these useful insights to others, because life becomes more beautiful when we take care of even the smallest things, including the freezer in your own home.